r/Askreddit by Reddit and chill. Reddit, what was something that you unexpectedly enjoyed during sex? Once a dude literally kissed my ass. Like, the cheek. Not some ass eating business. I was pretty surprised. But it made me feel powerful. Ass worship is a thing. Most guys do it because, well, the woman got a nice ass. But it's become a means to a psychological connection. Make the woman feel special, empowered, or proud of that particular part of her body that she may or may not otherwise be proud of. You don't have to eat ass, but if you do, that's cool. Just a caress, massage, bite and kiss, etc. is all it takes sometimes. The second girl I ever had sex with clawed savagely into my back and chest, and I found out I ducking loved it. Haha, got clawed once. Didn't go as she planned. Another weird thing is when my GF breathes heavily into my ear. It's not like blowing into my ear. But when we're getting busy and her breathing starts getting labored, and she starts almost panting into my ear, I get pins and needles all over. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Come here lil mama, lem whispering ya ear. While foreplay was happening, her hair got mixed up and around my dong. It's so smooth and different feeling. I came very quickly. She not too happy I just came in here, but was utterly happy to find something that stimulated me so much. Didn't happen as often after that, but if I was having a problem finishing, she would pull this one out and voila, instant satisfaction. I don't understand it myself, but maybe it had to do with her shampoo and or conditioner, but whatever it was, it worked for me. Head and Shoulders might have a new pitch. Nothing too crazy, but I never anticipated being kissed on the neck would feel as amazing as it does. I made my BF orgasm from kissing his neck and ears. I didn't do anything else. It was pretty shocking. Hasn't happened again. But I definitely add that to handjobs or sex now. I'm honestly still trying to figure myself out. But my partner loves to hold out on me and make me beg him to go further. Like he will get me going and then just barely move with just the tip. He enjoys to watch me go a bit crazy and whimper and then grab onto him and try to pull him in further. He just kinda watches me amazed that he is causing such a reaction. I think it's a bit cruel, but by the time I get it, I feel like it gets better. I do this to my wife. It's hard to hold out sometimes. But watching her eyes roll back in her head when I finally stop teasing is ducking amazing. My GF and I recently tried anal. Something I've always wanted to do and she never has. She loved it, receiving. I hated it, giving. Mayo. You played yourself. Was getting blown and couldn't finish fast enough. Time was short, so I assumed control of the stick for landing. Resourcefully, she quickly opened a condom, put it on her finger, lubed up with, well, lube, and went to town on my a-hole like she was operating a Sawzall reciprocating saw. Amazing. Almost texture the ceiling. They say that pictures say a 1000 words, but your words just painted a 1000 pictures. Not during sex. But I was bitten on the neck hard. Like drawn blood hard. It was like OWWTF first, but then it was like, hold up. That was actually really hot. And they say vampires don't exist. Being surprised with it when it woke me up. I normally hate being woken up by anything. I was woken up with a BJ once. Last time I ever fell asleep on the train with my mouth open. Being watched. What's to like, right? I just never considered it or thought it would be something I'd enjoy. My last girlfriend and I snuck away from a house party to have sex in a deck chair by the pool. Some guys who figured they'd be funny turned the lights on us. My first reaction was to cover my girlfriend. But she immediately grabbed my ass, pulling me into her, and told me to keep going. By the time we finished, about 20 people were looking on. It's kind of been my fetish ever since. Similar. Went to a party, started having fun. Realized we were being watched. Turned me on more. My wife was out of commission a few months ago and not in the mood to give a BJ. I was horny and her solution was I could borrow her boobs while I pleasured myself. In over 15 years of marriage, I had never jacked it in front of her or had any desire to. Never understood that fetish at all. Holy crap, it was like 4D porn. More intimate than sex and hot as hell. Easy for her too. Now I get super excited for period weeks. Masturbating together can be utterly euphoric. I really enjoy when we have to be very quiet and sneaky. It just brings us back to when we started dating. We ducked everywhere and anywhere. We got really good at it. We even cover each other's mouth. A finger in the ass. I had long held the opinion that was a one-way street. One dark, stormy, drunken Tuesday night I was trashed and a girl just shoved her finger right on up there. No warning. I was scared at first but quickly realized it was awesome. Nothing quite like it. Road Trip really nailed it with that joke. 2 fingers? Better make it 3. Honestly. Best orgasm I've ever had was on all fours getting sucked off from behind with fingers in my ass. I tell my friends and they just give me shit. I once got a belly muscle cramp during orgasm. And it was weirdly pleasant. Which is even more weird because it doesn't work for leg muscles. Or hip flexor lol. I was having sex in a Saturn SL2 with the back seats opening to the trunk where we put our legs. High school desperation. And right when I was about to burst. Pull-out game was weak. I nailed my elbow on the seatbelt holder right in the funny bone area. The sensation of insufferable can't scream, it hurts so bad while wildly slinging the baby batter everywhere and convulsing all involuntarily was almost trance-like. I haven't ever had it happen again but I've had a long hard look at table corners while rubbing one out since then. I was having sex in a Saturn. I had no idea lesbian sex could be like that. She kept switching between actively wanting it and not. And then responded very positively when I got a little forceful. So that woke something in me. Gotta be consensual though. I pinched my ex once. He didn't like it. So I kept doing it because I thought it was funny. Eventually he threw me on the bed. Got on top of me. Pinned my arms down and growled stop. At that moment I realized I had a thing. And so I responded do something about it. Oh goodness. I'm exploring so much right now that I've unexpectedly enjoyed a lot more than I could have ever imagined. Double penetration, anal while also using a toy. A good slap to the face during rough sex. And also staring intimately into each other's eyes when things slow down. I love that deep, intense connection in that moment. Watching my boyfriend get close. There's something about knowing he's going to come soon that just turns me on like nobody's business. Having my lips bitten. Always thought it sounded weird until someone did it. Now I go weak at the knees for it. Try nibbling on earlobes. I had a Tinder hookup who liked to kiss and lick my feet. I'm super ticklish so I would have thought I'd hate it. But it felt good. Also had another guy who held my arms down while he ducked my face. And kind of pinned my body down with his while he went down on me. Was insanely hot. Lastly, a guy who liked for me to be waiting naked and ready to go somewhere in the house. I'd unlock the door and he'd come in and look for me. Felt absurdly exciting. I'm shy about my body so at first it felt too vulnerable. But I started to really like it. He'd come in and look for me. Imagine if he yelled stop right there you criminal scum. I was once really comfortable and accidentally fell asleep. It's okay though because it turns out we both did and it was quite a nice nap and we just carried on afterwards. When she licked my nips. I've licked guys' nipples before and had some protest before it turns into oh. Wait. UHH. And they get super into it. I don't know why I like doing it so much but when they like it. I love it. I hooked up with an older lady some years ago now. I was 22. She was 36. And had all kinds of tricks. The best was she made me sit on my hands while giving me a BJ. If I stopped sitting on them, she stopped too. I stopped once. It was amazing. What was amazing about stopping sitting on your hands? Evacuated from NOLA in 054 Katrina. Headed to Panama City, Florida. Hooked up with a girl on the beach one night. The sand was a concern. So we went into the hotel pool to rinse off. Mind you, this hotel pool area was empty at 2 AM. The beach was silent. Minus the winds. Found out 2 things right then and there. 1. I'm an unapologetic exhibitionist. Being out in the open where anyone could walk up at any time. Huge turn on. Screwed her silly. She was loud. Lights came on in different rooms. People peeked from the windows. And I felt like Maximus Meridius in the Colosseum. Are you not entertained? 2. Getting into cold water while already hard. Holy shit. I thought my dude was gonna burst. Never been that hard in my life. I don't think either of us expected it. She definitely was not ready for it. And the soreness afterward was definitely worth it. Also somehow made me last longer. So double positive I guess on that one. Ducked a chick so hard and she ended up farting right after I came. Don't know why. But it turned me on enough to give me a second wind. Sounds like she gave you that wind you needed. Squeezing my dong hard when she's giving me a hand job. For your information, I don't have death grip syndrome, so not an issue. Not even close. But I told my wife to grip it really hard once during a hand job. Wow, that did it for me. It just felt good. Having my stomach squished. I normally am not fond of my chubby tummy, but if my partner squeezes it during sex it makes me feel pretty for some reason. It's like they're saying I like this. Don't get rid of it. Yes. My husband does this sometimes and I'm just like maybe it's not so bad. She asked me to choke her. I was thrown back by that but eventually followed through. Discovered I really like to do that. Note, I always ask for consent beforehand. But what do you do with the body afterwards? Doing it in the beach is really peaceful, and when is cloudy is almost empty. I don't know if this counts, but it was amazing nonetheless. We had sex with the balcony door open on our honeymoon. Those ocean wave sounds are otherworldly. My last girlfriend and I would constantly have sex and she had an amazing ass. There was this one time where I had her on doggy and as I kept staring at her ass as it bounced on my hips. And I got curious and something in me just said, eat it, and I pulled out and ate her ass for the first time. To her surprise and mine. We actually enjoyed it. A lot. I have ate the ass of every sexual relationship I have encountered ever since. As long as it's clean I am always down. Slow sex. My pull-out game was pretty strong, but then she put a finger up my bum. And that's why you are here, Billy. My ex slapped me in the face really hard. I never was a fan of pain during sex. And after that I begged for it. My wife has always had a strong desire to put things up my butt. Which I will allow. Full stop. On special occasions. Once. She was going down on me with a prostate stimulator in my ass and I came. The force of that caused my sphincter to contract, which led to the very novel experience of pooping out the toy while ejaculating. It was surprisingly delightful. But yet to be replicated. She was a little put off by my uncontrollable laughter though. Stimulating the nipples. It's fantastic. Sucking on girls' nipples and having milk squirt out into my mouth. I now have a new fetish. It's way hotter than I ever thought it would be. My favorite part of both my wife's pregnancies. After birth, when her milk came in full, it would drip on me when she was on top. Breathing, moaning in my ear. Was kinda like heaven. When she said pin me down and come in my face. In her face? Kinky girl. My ex was playing with my chest, then started kissing me around my belly button. The sensation was amazing and I nearly blew my load from it. She made a request. She wanted me to choke her. Surprised I liked it. Haiku. When my husband needs my belly like pizza dough. Scratching my back. Licking my ear. You did that or someone did that to you? Good doggy. Lol. She put a scarf around my neck and it was weirdly nice. Like choke-y scarf or cozy scarf. Having a raspberry blown on my vagina. Last month. Doing doggy. Was grabbing all over her body ass and kept bringing my finger closer to her butthole until I was pressing on it, not in, and when I moved it away she would motion for me to put it back. She's never been comfortable with me coming close to touching it before. So it was a surprise. So I took a big risk and wet my finger with the outside of her kitten and stuck it in her ass. She jumped. But I put it in a little deeper and she said she really liked. It was just a really intense feeling but turned us both on a lot. Still trying to get her comfortable enough for us to try anal though. Definitely start with a butt plug first. They sell packs that go up in size. Finger up my butt. That feels good. It's not super unexpected. But when I'm doing lying down doggy with my partner and he leans down to kiss my back or my neck, it's really cute. And makes me feel so loved and appreciated. Ducking like and subscribe.